the Speeding Bulletin. My name is Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com. This is all the Superman related news there was for the week October 30th to November 5th, 2009. No movie news this week, but there's plenty of TV related news. Warner Brothers released a Q&A with animation legends Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, the executive producers behind Ruby Spears' Superman cartoons. The landmark series made its debut on November 3rd, 1988. Joe Ruby and Ken Spears took a few minutes to reminisce about the creation, development and production of their landmark 1988 series in a recent conversation. Visit the Superman homepage to see what they had to say. Peter McDermott has updated our Smallville episode guide with his summary of the most recent Season 9 episode, Crossfire, while Neal Bailey and Douglas Trumbull have written their reviews for this episode, with Doug giving it a 4.5 out of 5 and Neal gave it a 1.5 out of 5. The 7th episode of Season 9 of Smallville is scheduled to air in the US at 8 PM on Friday, November 6th. Titled Candor, in this episode Jor-El meets Chloe at the Kent farm while searching for Clark. Meanwhile, Zod sets out to track down Jor-El, whom he believes is the Blur, and Clark tries to find his father before Zod does. IGN.com interviewed Smallville executive producer Brian Peterson, who answered questions about Jor-El, the Justice Society, Wonder Twins, Zod and more. In regards to Jor-El, he said, "Julian Sands, we were so lucky to get him. He does an amazing portrayal of Jor-El." Kelly Souders answers TV Guide's questions regarding various cast members who haven't been seen on Smallville for quite some time. When asked about Martha Kent, she said, "We have the coolest idea for her to come back, so you never know, hopefully in the future." UberSciFiGeek.com caught up with actress Emily Allerup and asked her about her role as Cat Grant in the Crossfire episode of Smallville. She said, "It would be a great character to further explore, but I had a blast with what I was given on the one episode." The Huffington Post grabbed time with actor Michael Shanks to ask him about being cast as Hawkman for the 9th season of Smallville. He tells us that a few of the Justice Society characters have come out of retirement to meet up with an old foe and happen to cross paths with Clark and some of the characters from the Justice League. Voices from Krypton conducted an interview with Laura Vandervoort about her new role in the TV series V, and asked her if she'd come back to play Supergirl in Smallville, seeing as how she's currently in Vancouver. She said, "I'm not sure what direction they're taking the show in, so fingers crossed. I'd love to go back before the show is done." TV Guide magazine asks Brian Peterson about whether or not we'll see Clark in the familiar blue and red costume soon. He said, "Given the Clark Kent everyone knows from our show, it would come out of nowhere to see him wearing the Superman suit." The CW has released the official description for Pandora, the 9th episode of Season 9 and final episode for 2009 of Smallville. Scheduled to air in the US at 8 PM on Friday, November 20th, in this episode, Tess kidnaps Lois to find out where Lois went after she disappeared for weeks. Warner Home Video released the back cover artwork for the Super Friends Season 1 Volume 1 DVD collection. Not available yet for pre-order, Super Friends Season 1 Volume 1 will be released on DVD on January 5th, 2010. Superman homepage reviewer James Lance continues reviewing episodes of the 1950s Adventures of Superman TV series. Check out his review of Double Trouble, in which Superman helps recover stolen radium in a US base in Germany. In comic book news, comicbookresources.com caught up with Paul Levitz to talk to him about the transition from DC Comics president and publisher to DC Comics writer. In discussing the upcoming Superman-Batman annual he's writing, he said, "It's hard to give much away with it being just one issue, but it picks up on the meeting of Batman Beyond and Superman in the old Batman Beyond show." Superman comic books we reviewed this week included Superman 693, which was reviewed by Neal Bailey, who said, "For the most part this was a straightforward story instead of a parade of characters," and he gave it a 4 out of 5. Superman Secret Origin number 2 was reviewed by Neil, Adam and James, with all three guys giving it a 5 out of 5 rating, while James Lance reviewed World's Finest number 1, saying, "I was pleasantly surprised by the introductory issue in this new series," and he gave it a 4 out of 5. Superman comic shipping this week from November 4th include Superman World of New Krypton number 9, which is available in an alternate cover, and Superman Batman Search for Kryptonite trade paperback. The 9th annual Shield Awards are now open for votes. The Shield Awards give you, the fans, the opportunity to voice your opinions about comics with a 2009 cover date, Superman-related TV shows, and Superman merchandise released in 2009. By voting in the 2009 Shield Awards, you automatically go into the draw for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate from supermansuperstore.com. Voting ends midnight December 1st. Warner Brothers are offering up to 40% off the marked price of DC Comics merchandise at wbshop.com for a limited time. There's a huge range of DC-related DVDs, Blu-ray discs, sweatshirts, watches and more. The sale ends November 12th, so be quick. Eagle Moss has released details of a figurine of the Centennial Park Superman statue as part of its ongoing DC Comics superhero collection. Cast in lead, the hand-painted Centennial Park Superman figurine comes with its own slipcase and a detailed magazine. Visit eaglemoss.com for more info. The Superman homepage Super Trivia Quiz has been updated for another month. The 3 questions we're asking you this month are: what breakfast cereal is on the table at the Kent farm in Superman the movie? What brand of kryptonite-enhanced chewing gum does Pete Ross chew in the episode of Smallville? And in modern comic books, where do most people in Metropolis buy their burgers from? If you think you know the answers to all 3 questions, visit the site now to submit your entry. You could win an exclusive Great American Ink limited edition Super Rabbit print. The 1943 Super Rabbit cartoon is a classic and the retail value of this print is $895 US. American residents can enter the contest at greatamericainc.com/contest. That's all the Superman related news there was for the week October 30th to November 5th. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com. Welcome to the Younis edition of the Bailey Planet. Neal's away unfortunately, so I've stepped in for him and I have something important I wanted to talk about. Used to be that comic book writers and artists didn't get credit for their work in the comic books back in the Weisinger era. Now, I'm all for writers and artists getting credits for their work and their hard work at that, but I wonder whether or not the writers and artists are becoming more popular or more important than the actual characters they're writing for. Do people go around following Jeff Johns because it's Jeff Johns writing a comic book? Are we not getting people to the Superman comic books because Superman himself? Are they coming because of the writers? If Jeff Johns moved away from the Superman comic books, would the sales drop? Is the character becoming less important than who's creating him? It's an interesting topic. Let's see what you think.